Hi everyone, welcome to Business Studies class. Dear students, our today's topic is techniques of scientific management. These techniques are given by F.W. Taylor. Dear students, F.W. Taylor is also known as the father of scientific management. As far as these techniques are concerned, first technique given by F.W. Taylor is functional foremanship. It is functional foremanship. F.W. Taylor was of the view that a single person may not be capable to undertake all the aspects of a production unit, of a production process. So, just to overcome this limitation of human being, he divided the entire factory into two parts. The one part is planning in charge and other is production in charge. Dear students, this functional foremanship technique is basically based on specialization and division of work. And when we see this functional foremanship as a technique of scientific management, we see that this factory is divided into two parts. That is, one is planning in charge, other is production in charge. Planning in charge. First clerk, there are four clerks under this planning in charge. One is instruction card clerk. The work of this clerk is to prepare the instruction card which will be put on every machine before production process starts. So the worker who is going to work on that particular machine will see the instructions about the production process. And second is time and cost clerk. Under this process, we see that this manager will see how to minimize the cost of the production and how to minimize the time taken in the production process. And this time is determined on the basis of average time taken by the different workers. So F.W. Taylor also used stopwatches to determine this time. And cost, definitely by preparing cost sheets we can conclude that this is the minimum cost to be incurred for this production of a unit. So next is route clerk. This is also one of the important clerk. This manager is to determine the route, the process, the way from where production will start, and it will be converted to the final product, and that route will be determined by this disciplinarians. Dear students, you know that discipline means to follow the rules and regulations which are predetermined. To follow the predetermined rules and regulations, and this person is will see is responsible to maintain the discipline in the factory, and will see that all the rules and regulations which are determined in which are already determined are being followed by the workers and to give their best. Second part of this factory is production in charge. Now this is also called as operational in charge. Here we have planned something. Now we are going to execute our plans. First is gang boss. Basically, gang boss is to see that materials and machines and other tools and equipments are provided to the work at a proper time and in a proper quality and quantity. Repair boss. The responsibility of this boss is to repair the machine whenever some machine goes out of the order. Immediately this boss will come and repair the machine so that our production process carries on uninterrupted. Speed boss. This boss will determine the speed of the production, the speed of the production process, so that at a proper time we are able to produce the products, the things. And inspectors they will inspect the quality. Important thing is quality of the product and as well as the quantity. Quality as well as quantity of the product, they will inspect that we are producing good quality and good quantity of the products. And this was the first technique of scientific management. Second technique is standardization and simplification of work. Standardization and simplification of work. So our second technique of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor is standardization and simplification of work. Dear students, standardization means we have to determine the standards of our production process. How to determine the standards? Standardization of raw material, standardization of machines, standardization of time, and standardization of other factors of production. So if we will determine the standards, same process, same material, same machines will be used to produce all the lots of the product. Then by this we will be able to standardize our products. Dear students, you see that Good Day biscuits. Whenever we taste it, it tastes the same. Although this Good Day biscuit is manufactured in the month of January or in the month of July or in the month of December, every time it tastes the same. Why it is? Tastes the same because this product is standardized. Standardized material, standardized production process, standardized machines, and standardization of other factors of production. So other is simplification. Under this simplification technique, F.W. Taylor suggests that just to avoid the unnecessary and unproductive diversification of the products. Unnecessary and unproductive diversification of the products. And also to avoid unnecessary processes too. Let me explain this with the help of one example. Good Day biscuits. They are having packing of rupees 5 rupees packing, 10 rupees packing, and 20 rupees. Only 3 packings are there for Good Day biscuits. Otherwise, they can have 1 rupee packing, 2 rupee packing, 5 rupees packing, 10 rupees packing, 50 rupees packing, 20 rupees packing, 25 rupees packing, 30 rupees packing, and so on. So they avoid this different packings. They avoid this different diversifications. So they only have 3 packings, which is a very successful packing in the market. So simplification means just to avoid unproductive and other unnecessary diversification and quality of the product. Third technique of scientific management is work study. This is the techniques given by F.W. Taylor. Work study. Work study means it is a technique of assessing the performance of the worker. We will assess whether the performance of the worker is up to the mark or not. This is the technique used to assess the performance of the workers. There are 4 different dimensions of this work study. Different 4 dimensions. First is method study. F.W. Taylor suggests that we should select the best method or the best techniques to produce the products, and different methods will be evaluated and we will be choosing the best one under this technique. Other is motion study. This is also very important study. It will help to decrease the cost and decrease the unnecessary motions of the workers. Under this study, we study the lifting, shifting, as well as putting the objects for the production. Now, this technique usually we study that the minimum motion should be there for a worker to produce the best and the best quality and best quantity of the products. Let me explain this study with the help of an example. Suppose a worker is producing, doing some machining on the product by standing. If he has to take the raw material from the floor, he has to go downward, then he has to pick that product to put it on the machine. It will increase his motions, and he will also be less efficient for doing this process. And the other way, what we can do, this product we can put by the machines on his platform to where he can do the machining process on the product, and by this we can minimize the motions of the worker, which will help us to increase the efficiency of the worker and to minimize the cost of the production. And next study is time study. Under this study, F.W. Taylor suggests that we should determine the standardized time to complete the job. Previously I told that to determine this standardized time, we can use the stopwatches, and we can have the average time. By determining the standardized time, we can come to know that how much time is required for the to complete the production process. Next study is fatigue study. This is also very important study. F.W. Taylor was of the opinion that human beings are having certain limitations, like they can have mental as well as physical fatigue while doing the jobs. So he suggests that there should be appropriate breaks and rest periods during the production process. We should determine the time for the breaks and rest periods, and how many breaks and rest periods are required for a particular job. These breaks may be different from different types of jobs, and this fatigue study will help us to increase the efficiency of the workers and to minimize the wastage of the material and other resources of the production. And this fatigue study will also help us to maximize our. The next technique of scientific management is differential piece wage system. Differential piece wage system. Basically, this is a system, this is a technique to determine the wage rates for efficient workers as well as for inefficient workers. This is the technique used to motivate the inefficient workers to become efficient workers. This is very important technique to motivate the employees. Under this technique, two wage rates are determined. One, the higher rate is determined for the efficient workers. Efficient workers means workers who are able to produce the standardized quantity in standardized time. Who are able to produce standardized quantity in standardized time. And the other rate is determined for inefficient workers, which is lower than the efficient workers rate. And this inefficient workers means who are unable to produce the required standardized quantity in a standardized time. When the inefficient worker will see that efficient workers are getting more wages, they will also be motivated to give their best and to be the efficient workers. Let us discuss this technique with the help of one example. Let us have, suppose there are three workers. There are three workers, A, B, C, and we have standardized time let it be 8 hours and standardized production let it be 200 units. Third, wage rates. For efficient workers, it is rupees 10 per unit. And for inefficient workers, it is rupees 8 per unit. But we have assumed there are three workers A, B, C. We have taken standardized time at 8 hours. Standardized production, that is 200 units. It means every efficient worker is supposed to produce at least 200 units in 8 hours. There are two wages, as suggested by F.W. Taylor under this technique. One rate is for efficient worker it is rupees 10 per unit, and for inefficient worker it is rupees 8 per unit. And actual production, A produces 220 units, B produces 200 units, and C produces 180 units. Three different workers. A produces 220 units, is producing more than the standardized production. B producing rupees 200 units, it is equal to the standardized production. C producing 180 units, which is less than the standardized production. So here we can see that C is an inefficient worker. C is an inefficient worker. So what is the rate of wage applicable? For efficient it is rupees 10. For A and B it is rupees 10 per unit, and for C it is rupees 8 per unit. For C it is rupees 8 per unit. What will be the total wages? For A it is 2,200. For A it is 2,200. For B it is exactly 2,000. For C it is 1,440. As per this technique of differential piece wage system, A and B being the efficient worker, they are getting more wages as compared to C. Now we see that when C will see that A and B are having more wages, he will also try to increase his production, to increase his efficiency. So this technique is also used to motivate the employees given by F.W. Taylor. By this, we come to the end of this topic, that is techniques of scientific management. Thank you and have a nice day.